let's see how this works. Having a little trouble with my clampy clamp today, but we'll see how that goes. Hi, everybody. It's Wednesday, and I'm really in a good mood. I have a lot to say. I've got some writing done, really good writing, and listen, I'm a middle-aged lady. I'm not some sexy thing, fresh out of college, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. It's not who I am. Hollywood really, really appreciates bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Statistically, it's harder for a woman to get a job after she turns 40. And I think part of that is because there's a certain point when the minnow is pausing and your BS meter just sort of, please bear with me, just sort of kicks in, and you're way less pliant than you used to be. We've all been at that point. Is it Hairspray where Divine says, I'm ironing and my diet pills are wearing off? We all have that moment inside of us. And for women, it definitely kicks in at a certain age. And when you're moving into a collaborative field like Hollywood really requires collaboration. They really need you to be a bit bendy, be a bit cooperative. Yes, fight for your story, fight for your characters, but not to the death. These people are in it to make a few bucks. There's a business side and a creative side. And the business people may be somewhat creative, but at the end of the day, they have shareholders they have to answer to. So they're going to look at it with really far more clinical eye than you want them to. And it's easier for them to do their job if you are pliant. So, but the trade-off as you age, one, you have more to say. You've lived more life. You have experienced more. You've accumulated more stories and more interactions. You've met more people. You've seen patterns of humanity. And that should enrich the process. So what I'm saying is, I am so excited about my new project. It is the meanest, grungiest, nastiest thing I might write for my entire life. It's a story about really horrible events. It is not a feel-good movie. It is not a Christmas movie. It is just gritty and grimy and possibly depressing, although the way I see the outcome is it's more cathartic, and we'll see when I get to the end how I feel about it. But this horrible story is rattled around in my brain for decades, and it's time to get it out and just get it on paper. And I feel so good about it. Even if nobody reads it, I feel good about it. I'm creating something. And it's important at any age to keep creating. And I think we make these mistakes of saying, I didn't do this by the time I was 25. I didn't do this by the time I was 30. I didn't, and then we give up on it. Well, what goals are you trying to satisfy? What are you up to? And for me, the goal right now is create the best screenplay that I am capable of creating. And then let the life of the screenplay after that be after that. I don't have to resolve that right now. I just got to get this baby born. I'm not in charge of if this baby runs off and becomes president someday. I'm in charge of birthing a baby. And that's my focus. And even though I'm a middle-aged lady and the odds are stacked against me in terms of the shiny Hollywood experience, I'm going to keep doing it because I'm getting a benefit from this. I am feeling energized. I'm feeling empowered. I'm feeling sharpened. All of these, there's so many good activities, maybe you're working on exercise. Does that mean that you're going to go run off and join the Olympics? No, but it's good for your body to exercise. It's good for you. For me, writing is good for me. It's exercise for my mind so I can stay sharp for as long as possible. And I can feel good about what I've done. My mother would like to be a writer. She just can't find her way into doing it. She keeps falling in love with these chat to text things. She tried one a few years ago and then she gave up because the text wrote down ha 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 because she was enjoying herself so much she kept laughing at her own story, and the text program typed out the ha ha ha's. And this happened so much she realized that she was entertained, but maybe no, maybe this won't work. I think that's hilarious. But if she was thinking about the writing for the pure enjoyment of it, she would celebrate those ha ha ha's. Instead, she let it shut her down. So recently she started my sister-in-law showed her a new talk to text program. It's been a lot of years, everything improves. And apparently she's talking to text and she's got this idea for a story based on somebody that she was in the convent with. I haven't told you guys this. My mother at one point in her life was a nun. So for those of you who went to Catholic school and had the Irish nuns, listen, I was raised by an Irish nun, so just slow your roll. I did love the crap out of 1923 when the Irish nun went too far and the woman dealt with it. Oh, I love the first season of 1923. 1923, the second season, I think stayed at the dance too long. But that man is a very good storyteller. 1883 killed me. Back to my mom. So she wanted to tell a story about one of her classmates who got pregnant. Fell pregnant. One of the other novices. And there's a whole story of what happened to her. She obviously left the convent and went off and had a whole life. I don't think she fell pregnant while she was a nun, but being in the convent did not prepare her adequately for romantic interactions. It's like if you learn to drive when you're a teenager, you're a stronger driver than if you learn to drive in your 20s or 30s or 40s. There's something that gets baked in. The younger you are, you learn some languages are easier to learn when you're younger. So are social interactions. So Mom was getting ready to tell a story based on this idea. She watches a lot of British stories. And there's some TV show where this woman becomes pregnant and she shouldn't have gotten pregnant. And now my mom is thinking about giving up on her story. And I told her what I'm about to tell you. There's only 7 stories in the whole world. There's only 36 ways to tell those stories. That's it. That's the math. That is the math. Those are the plots. Those are the stories. That's what you have. That's it. Every single story that could have been told has been told. It has not been told by you. You are the secret sauce. I am the secret sauce. The story that I'm telling is terrible. It is not unique. It is not unique. What makes the story unique is the way that I am telling the story. I am the prism through which this story is being told. So I want you to think about that before you give up on whatever your creative endeavor is. We don't have to make the creative endeavor the be-all and end-all of everything. Maybe you need a side hustle to keep a roof over your head while you work on your creative pursuit. Do it. Do it. It's allowed to be divorced. It's allowed to be. It's exhausting. Let me tell you. I know, kid. I know. It's exhausting. I'm going to choke up because it was so amazing. On Instagram, somebody posted a clip of Giancarlo Esposito speaking at a Q&A. And it was just one of those, they're up on a stage, there's a screen behind them, they've got all these chairs, there were several other people on that panel. He was not the only one. And somebody asked him a question. I don't even know what the question was. It doesn't matter because the response, please go look for it. It really spoke to me and it really inspired a lot of what I'm telling you today. He talked about how between acting gigs, he drove a cab, he bagged groceries, he had the side hustle. But he got so fired up, he jumped out of his chair and paced across the stage like a tiger. And he said, stop waiting to be great, because you already are great. I hope you hear that. You are already great. You are already great. You're already great. Nobody needs to give permission for you to be great. Nobody needs to adjudicate or evaluate or give you the little gold star like they did in kindergarten. You are great. You are great. And what you put out in the world is great. And he said, when you embody your greatness to the fullness of all that it is, you can step out on the edge and suddenly things materialize. And I could not agree more. I couldn't agree more. You have to believe in your greatness, because if you do, that's where the courage comes to do the scary things. Last week I told you about, I had a interaction with a client that did not please me. This is somebody that I had great affection for. I felt like I was part of a team. I felt like they were important to me personally, but they were also important to me financially. Let's be real. They were a good client. They paid their bills on time. I could rely on them. but it's stuck in my craw the way I was spoken to. And I felt like I had proven myself as an ally and I had been treated as an adversary. And I had to really take that apart and put it back together and see, is this something that could be fixed? Is this something I even want to fix? And the conclusion I came to was that I learned everything I needed to learn. I was going to hear them out. I had scheduled, they wanted to have a phone call. I had scheduled that for Monday, the holiday, at 11 a.m. Nobody called me. I called them and I got sent straight to voicemail. So I know that they were awake and that they were near their phone. And that's when I knew it's time to release this client. I'm going to have to cinch the belt a little bit. I'm going to have to assess my spending and see where I can go into monk mode until I can find another client or another way to replace that income. But I thought, I don't need to be miserable while I'm doing this side hustle. That's not the point. The point of the side hustle is to keep me alive so that I can focus on my dreams. And this was taking too much mental and emotional energy working. Here's how I could explain it. Here's how I could fix it. Here's how, you know what? I saw an economist and he said the problem with capitalism is it creates an owner class and a slave class. Because I own my own business, I'm not quite in the slave class. Because I don't have any employees, I'm not quite in the owner class. I'm in this very weird in-between sliver that morally I can live with. And I think that that's where this greatness idea comes in. If you embrace your greatness, you will always be in alignment, with your best self. And fixing this situation with this unhappy client was not in alignment. So I went out on the edge and I let them go. And fortunately, that was a very peaceful, easy process. And I can live with the results from here. And I got a call from their CPA asking. I thought it was because of this incident. No, it was just coincidental. So I gave the CPA what he was asking for. And I let him know that there's a point of contention on this particular item. So just be aware of that. And and I said, I'm sorry I won't be able to work with you, because I'd only had one other phone call with a guy and I really liked him, who was really smart. And he said, well, are you still taking clients? And I said, yeah. And he said, would you be okay if I sent you some clients? I went out on the edge. And the universe answered. I don't have a new client yet. I kind of need to, make sure my current clients are all being taken care of well. But there's proof. When you take bold action, what is it? Goethe says, go in the direction of your dreams. The boldness, oh God, I'm hamming it up. Such a good quote. I'll find the quote and paste it in the description below. It's so good. Go in the direction of your dreams. There's a genius to the boldness of it. I am screwing it up. I'm not Goethe, as you well know. But everything in the last couple days has just affirmed. Keep creating. Keep at it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what other people say. It doesn't matter what other people think. It doesn't matter if other people care. The only person that matters is you. Do you care? Do you care about what you're doing? Can you do what you're doing happily, joyfully, peacefully? Can you be content with what you are doing? For a lot of us, the answer is no. And that's where I would say, examine your options. And I'm not saying go quit your job and become a trapeze artist or something, but you have to find something that fills your cup. You've got to find something that fills your cup, or you will have nothing inside you to give to the world. You must find things that give you joy. And that's my encouragement to you today. Oh, look up that that thing. He's amazing. And I doubt he's driving cabs now. I'm sure I think people have finally noticed how good he is at what he does. And that they're happy to hire him for their projects. And if they're not, have another look, kids, because he is good. You would probably remember him as Gus from Breaking Bad. What an excellent bad guy. Wow. He really did a job. Really, really did a job. And I'm glad that he was on a panel and then he said those things. If he didn't move another person in that room, he moved me. He moved me and gave me great comfort. And I'm proud of myself for sticking with it. I have not broken through. I am not, credited as a writer on anything. You can look up my IMDb. I got a couple of things under my belt, but it's usually me supporting someone else. That's okay. I'm good at support. I'm very strong at support. That's why I'm a good bookkeeper. I do offer more than just bookkeeping, but people don't know what they need. So that's usually the gateway. Will you do my books? And then eventually it's, figuring out why their insurance company is not doing this or that, or filing paperwork, or whatever the nonsense of the day might be. Today I'm filing paperwork today. That's all I'm doing. Filing paperwork is generally not the bookkeeper's job. So, yeah, you have to be, as Jennifer Lewis would say, you have to be happy on your way to happy. And if you're not, you've got to weed that garden. You've got to find, what is that thing that's making me not happy, and how can I fix it? And if it's simply you've decided to take up a hobby, then do it. If it's you've decided to get the plastic surgery, then do it. If it's you've decided to pursue a new goal, do it. The Our time here on this planet is so brief. I promise you, somebody will benefit from the things that you put out in the world. If you are putting stuff out in the world from your spirit of greatness. They're changing a traffic light, is why we're just standing still here on good old Laurel Canyon. They've got to fix a transformer or some nonsense. There's every truck in the world. And one of those cherry pickers with a human in the bucket. I don't know why they call them cherry pickers. Can't you pick other things with it? I have no idea. And I actually have never seen a single one used for picking fruit or cherries. Nope. I hope you're feeling good. I hope you have a good plan. It's midweek. It's not too late. It's not too late. I was on the phone yesterday with a dude at QuickBooks because I had a little back-end problem that only QuickBooks could solve. The problem is you always wind up on the phone for an hour before somebody says, you know, I think I need to get you to somebody else. Okay. So that's pretty much what happened. But he was such a cheerful fellow, and he kept humming little goofy little songs to himself. And I said, okay, we're going to have a little moment. I just need to know, what is it? You're definitely a creative person. What is it you want to do when you're not working at QuickBooks? You will never guess. You will never guess. Yes, he is an artist. That was a no-brainer. Easy guess. Not an easy guess. The art. His dream is to forge knives. That's what he wants to do. And while we were talking, he said, I'm thinking about forging a set of knives based on Fraggle Rock. That's an artist. That's an artist, because Fraggle Rock, they're cute, they're fluffy, they're squishy Muppets, and then you're gonna make a set of not steak knives, but sword wielding, please don't murder anyone, but these are capable of murder knives. That's hilarious and twisted and amazing. And I hope he does it. I'm sending him all the vibes. And I hope he keeps creating. Oh, I learned something. We're at the corner of Lookout Mountain here. So I did not know this, but at the corner right there is just some fence that's always been there and a rickety gate. And I saw some guy on YouTube doing a little tour. The corner of Lookout Mountain and Laurel Canyon used to be I think they called it the lodge, or they called it the log cabin. It was owned by Frank Zappa briefly, and then it burned to the ground in the 80s. And there's other people owned it beforehand. And there used to be a big parking area where I guess it was literally a place where you could go and have a little cowboyish snack or something, and then became a private residence, as everything up here does. And the man said that they're planning on turning it into a park. And he went in and walked. I don't think it's definitely not open to the public. So, the gate was broken and open, and, where he parked his car, I have no idea. But he took his little phone and he went in there and walked around and talked about the history of the place and hiked and climbed and climbed and hiked. It looks like a very good little march around kind of place. So at the moment, it's not closed and not open. 2, there's no parking. 3, I have a torn muscle in my calf. I cannot hike and climb right now, but I promise, I'm working on getting my steps back up. I was finally able to get back on the rebounder this week. I'm feeling good about all of that. I promise when the opportunity arises and I'm physically able, I will take my little handheld camera, because I got one of those, and we'll have a little walk around in there, have a little exploration of the ruins of what used to be there. So I've just reached my destination. There's every car in the world behind me, which that never happens. Fuck. Okay. Excuse me. I gotta get it at the right angle or it won't open. Okay, I can't. I gotta go direct. Oh, he directed himself, and so did the other one. Good. Alright. People are so weird up here. Anyway, I've come to my location, my destination. I have arrived. And so we are at the end of our chat for today. And I hope you feel good about it. I feel good about it. I will talk to you later.